Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bobby. I hope you had a great weekend. All is wonderful here at the club at Horseshoe Bay. If you do have just a moment to hit the like and subscribe, I'd truly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Let me get into today's lesson. And you might be surprised that I'm on a flat lie because the headline here says that we're going to talk about the killer downhill lie. And there's a parallel that I'd like to draw right here, and something that I think you can really glean some valuable stuff from. And I'm going to put this tee right there, and I'm going to hit this ball, and I'm going to remind you that every sophisticated ball striker who takes a divot that starts at the ball and goes after. No, don't worry, I'll tie this into how this relates to the downhill lie in just a moment, but let's be sure that I've got it going. All right, now, that is where my ball was sitting, and that was the divot. However, and you might say, ooh, that was well after. Yeah, that's okay, that's good. That works out well. That was a fine shot. But I could have bottomed out. I could have reached my lowest point directly at the ball and still hit a quality shot. I could have reached my lowest point and taken a divot starting just after it, or just after it, or just after it like I did. Anywhere between there and there is perfectly fine. However, if I hit the ground even 1 inch before it, then the shot is ruined beyond recall. All right, so let's be clear about something. When you got a ball in the middle of your stance and you're trying to take a divot, the ball is not the central point. The ball is the beginning point, and anything at the ball or beyond that is a fine place to bottom out. Anything before that is ruinous. Let's see how that relates to the killer downhiller lie. Okay, so I'm on the side of this hill. Actually, the driving range is now closed. It's after hours, and that's why I'm not having golf balls zip by my head like an asteroid belt. I've got a downhill lie, evidenced by the fact I dropped that and it falls. All right, you can see that. Now, I said a moment ago that the divot on a standard fairway shot is such that there's a Goldilocks zone, and that Goldilocks zone starts at the ball and goes left. It's not half right and half left. The bottom part of the swing needs to be no farther right of the ball than the ball, and anything left of that for the next 4, 5, 6 inches is perfectly fine. The same thing here. But the difference is, and this is why this is so important to sort of think about this on this lie, is this is the shot that's going to make the average person bottom out way earlier than they should. Because the body's natural need to stay afoot, the instinctive need to keep one's balance, makes them lose their posture. They might set up level with the slope, that is perpendicular to slope with their shoulders parallel, but during the course of the swing, they change that because their natural inclination is to do what they can to stay on their feet. And what we have to do is say, the heck with that. I'm going to do just a couple of things before I hit this ball that's going to allow me to make sure that I bottom out where I need to, and at the same time hit a quality shot. I'm going to put the ball somewhere close to the middle of my stance and take a practice swing and see where the club naturally bottoms out. Oh my gosh. It's back of usual. Never would I take just a casual practice swing and bottom out that far back. Well, I'm glad I did it because now I know I need to have the ball back there. So rather than fight with that, I've already shown a natural inclination to hit behind it. So I'm not going to fight with that. I'm just going to put the ball back there. Well, now I'm going with the flow, man. The ball wants to be back there. Then I'm going to realize that this very back spot was pretty close to my right foot. And so that's the farthest back that I can hit. I can hit left of that, but not right of it. And so now I'm going to take a couple of practice swings, making sure with my focus point left of the ball that I'm swinging down the contour of that slope, and any grass that I hit is actually left of that ball. All right? Now, what did I do? I fell. It's perfectly fine. Because the person who instead tries to maintain their balance is the one who hits the bad shot. Because what do? They just stand up and they hit behind the ball. I'm going to stay in posture, swing and get down the contour of the slope, and that's going to make me have to take a step to catch my balance. That's perfectly fine. I'll do a couple of those. The ball's back in my stance. I'm looking left of the ball, and I'm going to brush that ground left of the shot. And once I've done that a couple of times to get some confidence up, it's time to hit the shot. And that was perfectly fine, all right? This is my 9-iron, folks, and I chose that club because that's probably the longest club in the bag off the side of a hill here. You know, if you use a 5-iron, 5-iron is going to have 1 iron loft because whatever slope this is, that takes away from the loft on the club. So this 9-iron is more like a 5-iron, and it can be swung more manageably, okay? And so again, take a practice swing to see where the bottom of your swing starts. Not where the middle of your divot is, but the farthest right edge of the divot you take when you take a practice swing. Put the ball there then. Take a couple of confidence-inspiring swings where you bottom out left, take a step, and that will tell you everything you need to know to then execute the shot. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next week.